Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Inspired. Today I'm here with Adrienne and Sasha.
What's up?
We just want to talk real quick about something that we've seen kind of happening over the last couple months or so. Well, first, poorly done eyebrows. We've had a lot of people contacting us, and then they've done research online, they've had their eyebrows done, and they hate them. Either one's too high or they're too saturated. I think that's mainly the issues that I saw.
Or the different tails.
Yeah, going different directions.
Right.
So I've had a couple come in this last week, or last couple months, I shouldn't say. There was one this last week, though. But yeah, so with that, if somebody has had their eyebrows done, we can actually do what's called emergency removal. Technically, we're not allowed to call it removal because, it does just lighten the procedure area. However, I have found when we do emergency removal, it does lighten the procedure, especially with those hair strokes. That one I just did.
Oh, yeah, that was about a good 40%.
40%. I would say 50.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Well,
yeah. Well, there was an angle.
We can put the photo in here.
Yeah. Let's put the photo in. That was definitely something that, within the 40 or 24 to 48 hours, really, that you want to get that removed. But 24, obviously, the sooner the better.
Yeah, so she had him done the night before.
Right. It was 24 hours.
24 hours. That's the best.
And that definitely made a difference. So that picture that she will post on this definitely shows you that. And that's something that, is a beautiful thing to have.
Excuse me. Something that first off, social media is pissing me off. But people on social media are pissing me off because they don't know the full story. I think you post something and they think they know the story. So I had posted something. This wasn't this photo that we just showed you, but it was a previous one. And everybody's like, why would you do that on that client? The brows look good. I'm like, you think the brows look good. That doesn't mean, it doesn't matter what you think, but they also didn't look good. So because they saw, it was like a side view of the brows. I'm like, you couldn't obviously tell that one was higher and one was lower. So most of the comments underneath the post, thank you for the engagement, but most of the comments were like, why would you even remove those eyebrows? They're perfect. I'm like, they're not perfect. Why would we be that's a dumbass question, because why would I be removing eyebrows if there's not something wrong with them?
And also too, because that's what the client wants. It's not like you went out and said, let me remove your eyebrows. You know what I mean? It's like it's a decision between you and the client. It's not
if somebody's calling you panicking, and you
they
offer
don't
the
like
service and they don't like it, I do understand, because I've had not these situations that that I've seen recently, but I have had people where they have came in and it's just that original brow shock because they're so dark, right? Brows of course look dark. That's not I'm 12 years in. I can tell the difference if the brows, I can tell if the symmetry's right. I can tell if it's too saturated. I can tell if it's too deep. I can tell immediately by looking at somebody if those types of things are happening. But it's just so crazy to me that people are like, I got the full story and this is what I'm gonna say. And I'm like, bro,
actually you don't, because if they're not paying for it and that person doesn't like it and they're looking for that service and you're going to be able to, do that for her, then hey,
well,
go
it's either
at
that
it,
or they're going to do it at their house. That client was like, I researched so much because there was nobody in town doing the service that I researched so much and I was coming up with a cocktail to scrub off these brows off my face. What's that going to do? Scar tissue? You might as well come in and have a real procedure done that, because you don't tattoo the solution into the skin. It's literally just, now, this is not training by any means, but it is for the most part just a soak. So it's and I have a product that does it, so why not use it? But that's better to do for somebody that's in a panic mode versus having them mixing something up at home that's going to lead to an infection.
Will lead to an infection.
Scar tissue.
Their skin is going to be, it's going to be darkened. It's going to be hyperpigmentation, and you just don't want that. So, if you love your skin and you love the texture of your skin and everything else about it, there's not. You look for a professional.
Well, even in that one that just came in recently with the hair strokes,
right?
Even her, I was like, when she laid down, I was like, oh, but the strokes were done really pretty.
They were.
The strokes were pretty, but one was clearly higher and one was clearly lower. So you're going to leave that brow on somebody's face to let it heal. Like when you have it's a wonderful solution to be able to offer. And I don't know, what do we charge? I'm always so open about that. $250 and it takes 10 minutes. $250.
Add that to your menu.
And no, literally $250 for a 10-minute service. Like you can't beat it. And it's drastically helping somebody.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think people have such opinions on social medias because they can't see it fully. Like, remember that really cute chick that came in maybe like a month ago, and we were like, "What's wrong with your brows?" And then even us seeing it in person, then we got close, and then we were like, "Oh, we see what their problem is." So
that
imagine
was the one that
in
was
person,
too close together, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then like the lines back here were crazy.
Yeah,
and it's just like, oh yeah. So if we had to be super close in person to see what's going on, imagine like social media, everyone's be like, "It looks good from over here," but what's the quality of work when you're in someone's face, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, they got so many opinions. Like, I would never remove those. Like, why are you doing that?
And this is someone's face. If they want it off their face, like,
do
whether
it.
It's a perfect brow and they're just like, I don't like the color or whatever.
How about if they would have came, and this is one thing I want to ask you, being, newer in in this industry, like, had she come and been like, they don't look symmetry, I want this part removed. Like, would you have still? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
One time I actually had one. So this was a couple years back. I could maybe. I have a really good photo of this. So if I can find it. Okay. So I need the hair stroke one that came in recently, and I need this OG photo. So I have a photo where literally it was just that. So her brows, perfect. They did a great job, except the hair strokes were brought up higher on one side, so this brow was thicker than what the other one is. So I laid that solution just along the top edge of one, and it's so cool because you can see that the top of those strokes are like, again, 50% softer than what the rest of the brow was. And I never heard from her again, so I'm like, it must have worked.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you can catch hair strokes that quickly, those hair strokes probably are not going to heal in because they're not saturated. They're not put in with a large shader needle. They're just put in with little bits of pigment, right? So
absolutely
less saturation. So if there's less saturation, more likely that it's probably not even going to heal in.
Yeah. And what about the girl with the yellow brow that just called us like recently, and how many treatments she's done to her skin?
Oh my
like
gosh,
she was telling us that she's gonna go on Amazon, and like she just like
they get desperate.
She was like, so she's been through so many like different services. She did lasering. She did I think she said she did try the saline.
Yeah, no, glycolic acid.
Oh, that's what it was.
Glycolic.
Yep.
So but the issue with so because we could have. Okay, all right. So saline doesn't recognize pigment color, right? It's just literally lifting pigment. Anything out of the skin it gets caught in the salt in the body, pigment in the middle, lifts it up and out. Like it's like a magnet type thing. So it just lifts that pigment out of the skin that way. But the reason we couldn't really help her is because once somebody's had so many laser sessions done, it breaks that pigment up into little tiny particles because then it's drained out through the lymphatic system. Whereas saline, it works better if that pigment is in that body as a whole still, and then it lifts it up and out of the skin through the scabbing process. So once the lasers hit it, it makes it harder for it to grab it as a whole.
Do you think you recommend doing the saline first and then lasering, or
Absolutely.
Depends where they should start?
I'm not there's a lot of people out there that are like opposed to like even doing saline. Like they say it causes more scar tissue. But then on the flip side of that, there's people that say laser causes more scar tissue. I think, in my opinion, look, either way, no matter what you do, when you do something to the skin, it's probably going to cause some scar tissue. And if you know that going into it, if you're gonna, proper healing time, or if you're gonna have your brows redone, like that's happened to us before with one of Tanya's clients. The lady didn't tell her she had 8 sessions of laser.
Oh, yeah.
She should have told her. There was no trace. The skin looked fine. And then she goes and redoes that brow and does it in a light brown, and those brows healed black. Why? Because you're seeing that pigment through so many layers of scar tissue. It heals cooler. It just heals denser, cooler, and like cakey.
Yep.
So like you have to know that information, because what she should have done is probably through some like literally the blondest blonde that she could have possibly found.
Yeah.
And I guarantee it probably would have went like a medium or dark brown.
Yeah.
And the lady had black hair, thank God. But and she's like, oh, I forgot to tell you. It's like that stuff is super important.
Yeah.
Scar tissue makes pigments look totally different.
Oh that was a session.
Yeah.
That was a session. A learning session.
Yeah.
Like an Adrienne. I go off on rants.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Her
I'm very
eyes light
technical.
up and she just
I'm
stares
like,
at you like, Adrienne, stop looking at
whoa. Man, that's a whoa moment for me,
Yeah.
honey. That's a whoa moment for me.
That was an interesting
I
case.
really did that.
It was weird.
I
Yeah.
opened up my eyes wider.
Are you doing lift removals?
Yes, I'm doing lift remover. So I have a studio in San Francisco. So if you ever want to come see me. Anyways, I do removals there. And I didn't offer emergency removals, but just after just all the glory of listening to my beautiful mentor over here, just thinking, oh, wow, I could do this too. And it's like so easy. And then the aesthetic portion of me comes out and I'm over here asking all these technical questions and, wondering like a steamer, if a steamer opens the skin more, does that mean that could come out a lot faster? You know what I mean? So just all the technical of this industry really, really gets me. And so, yeah, I do have a lot of wow moments. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And Amber is going to be having a class.
Oh, shoot,
Yes.
I forgot about that.
If you want to
Yeah.
learn, if you want to learn how to do it, you want to tell them a little bit about it?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're going to do a workshop at the studio. So basically, it'll be like a 6-hour workshop in the morning, and we're going to do a machine class because that's super duper important. I have like 11 different machines because I'm a crazy person. So we'll go over all the needles, all the different machines, all the movements that you use that you don't want to use. That takes place in the morning, and then we're just going to stack models in the afternoon for all different types of basically like small body tattoo, because you can use it on body tattoos too. So I did a whole ass neck one time, the whole side of a
Really?
neck. Oh,
I
I've done
think
some
as
things.
far as I'm concerned, maybe the biggest I've ever done was a size of quarter.
Oh no, I've done some big ones.
Oh.
So you only should do up to a deck of cards. That's the biggest. You're gonna be sitting there for so long anyways. But I'm gonna get all different kinds of scenarios. Like eyeliner, you can use it on eyeliner, you can use it on brows, you can do it on body tattoos. It doesn't recognize color, lightens pretty much anything. So yeah, we're just gonna stack those models, and because whoever signs up, and we'll just hopefully we get a few people, and we can just kind of stagger them and throw them on all different kinds of different cases.
Yep, and right now we're offering $300 off of it. So we'll drop the links in the comments if you're interested, just to get more info on it.
Sorry, and it also includes an online. I'm more like, I'm not the geeky one. Like, this is Teryn's product. She developed it. So I'm going to include her online course with it. So basically, I'll purchase that course for them, and that's included, and they get that for a year. Because I want them to know all those crazy, crazy in-depth details that she talks about, because she knows the whole back-end formulation of the product and the different wavelengths on the lasers and all that type of stuff. So they'll have that prior to coming. I'm more so like, come chill, let's learn about machines, let's do the needles, let's do the movements, and let's do some models. So they'll have all the knowledge beforehand, so that's cool.
Cool, So we'll drop everything in the description.
Yeah. If you guys are interested, let us know.
What date is it? Do we remember off the top of our head? I want to say it's August 21st.
Okay, we're right then.
And we'll put the details in there in case we're wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's...
I think it is August 21st.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so much. If you do, I've done I've done that actual course, and I could tell you right now, she really breaks it up and really gives you so much detail, and it's just a lot of information that you should have in your back pocket. Back pocket, just so that when you do this service, you know what you're talking about, because you can't show up not knowing what you're doing. You have to know the information along with doing this service, because you have somebody coming to you, they're asking you questions, and you don't want to look like you don't know what the hell you're doing. I mean, you are the professional. They are
and salt
seeking.
can burn skin, so you really got to know what the fuck you're doing.
You sure do. So please sign up.
Yeah.
But you know what, too? If you're putting pigment in the skin, you need to know how to take pigment out of the skin.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Title of this episode.
Trademark that.
Yeah. No, it's so true, though. Yeah.
All right, guys.
So-
You got any last thoughts?
Sparkle, sparkle.
Sparkle.
Come sign up.
Come sign up,
We'll see
and
you
you'll
in
see me
August.
there.
Yeah.
And you'll get all of this, honey, all of this. And you know what? And don't get alarmed, but I am the cootie please. So
You should
yeah.
be chasing around the studio with sanitizer.
Yeah, and I'll let you know what not to touch and what to touch and how to sanitize. And yeah, you better listen.
Yeah, because a lot of y'all don't know how to sanitize.
No,
We're just gonna keep it real.
I have a medical. I've been in medical for a long time, so I could tell you right now, aseptic all the way. So you'll learn from me too. With me telling you not to touch something and clean your headpiece and everything else.
Yeah.
So, but I do it with love.
Yeah. One little nugget too, if you're in the studio and you come take a class, you learn a lot more than just what you're learning. Like you can talk to us about pretty much anything. I mean, we're not going to sit there and have a whole lesson with you, but it's fun to pull because like I do website stuff, cleaning stuff, like Amber's obviously the teacher. There's just a lot of things that you can pull from just being in the studio and being around us. So
yeah,
it's a
we
little
give you
perk.
a lot of takes, like a lot of just a lot of takes to lifing. You know what I mean? Obviously, we're not going to give you like everything, but I mean, just I've been an apprentice for some time, and I could tell you right now, just learning everything that I try to do solo, and then coming in, learning from a mentor. So there is a huge difference to that. So you will come in to the focus of what you're signed up for, but you also get other tidbits that'll probably get you to want to do and seek more information to better you as a being, as a human being. So on that note,
like, comment, share, and subscribe.
absolutely.
All right, guys, thank you for joining us on this episode. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Peace.